Okay, so my name is Sensei. I was laughing.
Perfect.
Okay, my name is Sensei Seth. Today I'm going to give you 4 tips to make your kicks higher. I get a lot of questions. Seth, I can kick with good form, but I can't get it much higher. Usually there's about 4 things, 1 of 4 things, maybe more, that are keeping you from getting your kicks higher. Number 1 is your strength on top of your leg. Okay, so for example, if I want to kick higher, that means I have to be able to pull my leg up. Okay, so that's number 1, whether it's pulling it up this way or pulling it up this way. Number 2 is my flexibility, how far my legs can go in the direction it's not really used to going, right? Number 3 is the mobility, the actual joint itself, whether or not I have, so the stretching here and then the joint itself, how well it can maneuver inside of itself. Now number 4 is my balance. So maybe I can balance well enough to throw my kick low, but by the time my head starts to come back this way or I have to sacrifice a little bit of body mechanics, now I have a harder time because my balance isn't as good. Okay, so let's dive deeper into strength. Whenever I want to make sure I can get something stronger, I want to put that specific muscle through a bunch of repetition of the movement that I want to do. For example, if I want higher front kicks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my hand on this wall and I'm going to just over and over and over again make sure that this muscle here, which is pulling my leg up, is strong. Okay? Same thing, now if I'm kicking this way, I want to make sure that these muscles that lie here, the muscles that are on top are going to be the muscles that pull up. Does that make sense? The muscles that are underneath are going to be the muscles that stretch. Now I can do this against the wall. I can do a fire hydrant drill, which is my hands are here, I'm going up, I'm going back, I'm going around, I'm going around. What I usually do is I'll go 10 sideways, 10 backwards, 10 out to in, and then 10 in to out. One last strengthening exercise you can do is you can sit here with your back against the wall, or back not against the wall, either way, and write out the alphabet with your legs. So go A, B, C, that's all caps, no cursive, cheaters. I don't care what language you speak, write out the alphabet. Now once you do that, you want to obviously make sure you hit both legs. Don't treat one leg better than the other, make sure whatever you do for one, you do for the other. Okay, so for flexibility, like I mentioned, the strength comes from the top of my leg or my hip, okay? Now, the flexibility has to come from underneath. Think about it this way. If I'm like this part is going to get shorter and this part is going to get longer. No different than my leg. This part is getting shorter, this is getting longer, okay? So I need to make sure that these muscles that run along the back are flexible enough to take me kicking high. Because you might have plenty strong legs, but if that muscle's not going, that muscle's not going, okay? So I want to make sure, and I have another video, I'll plug it right here, where if you want a more in-depth conversation about my stretching and what I do, here it is. But if I'm kicking side to side, I'm stretching these muscles here. If I'm kicking front to back, I'm stretching these muscles here, or back to front. You get the idea. But again, if you want more stretching tips, I've done a whole video on that already. Go ahead and check that out. After you're done with this video, just stay right here until I tell you, got it? Bub? Now for mobility, I want to make sure that I can move my joints around. A lot of times you'll hear about like achy joints and everything like that, that hurts. That just means we move them around in a more natural state. So some of my favorite mobility drills is I'll sit here and try and work on my hip mobility and my ankle mobility. Now a lot of people are a lot more mobile than I am. I'm not a small human. So I kind of work with what I can. So what I want to do is I want to push around, I want to maneuver like this, I want to get used to everything moving. Jesse Enkamp has a great series on hip mobility, which I think you should check out. That'll help you tremendously. I could just say everything that he's going to say, but I'd rather you watch his video and actually get something good out of it. I also like to sit here and go leg here, and then I come up and over and try and touch my knees to either side. And one last thing that I like to do for making sure that I'm a little more mobile is I lay on my back here and I get used to like this series of moving my legs around, pulling them up, over, around, just kind of getting used to finding where it really sucks it hurts, and then slowly working my way through that pain. Not pain, discomfort is a better way to put it. I'm getting used to locking my back flat against the floor, trying to pull this other stuff around. Okay, that's it for mobility. Now on to the last one is balance. A lot of people ask me, how do I get better balance? You balance more. How do you get better push-ups? You do more push-ups. How do you get better handwriting? You write more. Okay, one thing that I picked up, I don't know when I picked it up, but it's great for balance and it's also great for strength and flexibility. I take this leg here. I go extend like a front kick, extend like a side kick, extend like a roundhouse kick. And I just do this over and over and over again. This is working on my balance, this is working on my core strength, this is working on my hips, and a little bit of my flexibility. Naturally, I can't pick my leg up that high, because again, I got like these freaking tree stumps. But if you have smaller legs, you have the ability to go up a little bit higher, which can help you work on your flexibility too. And then once you're done there, you simply do the same thing on the other side. Make sure that you are working on staying as composed and still as possible. When you think about balance, your equilibrium is in your head. I want to make sure my head stays straight up and down. So I don't want this, if you're walking in a circle and you start to do like this, right? You'll notice that even though you're just walking, something you do every day, as soon as you start to move your head around, you'll kind of start to spin, okay? So whenever you think about balance, think about head straight up and down. I like to take a string, tie that imaginary string to the ceiling, and anytime I'm kicking, my head should be relatively straight up and down. Okay. All right, so that is all I've got for my 4 tips. That's bad. Okay, that is all I can feel myself fidgeting. All right, that is all I've got for my 4 tips. If you have any questions, hit me up on here, comment below, hit me up on Instagram, bing, at Sensei_Seth. If you want to see something else like this, if you want me to dive into more of one of these 4 tips, like balance, or flexibility, or mobility, or hip strength, or leg strength, comment below, let me know. Till then, like and subscribe, leave the comments, share it with your compadres or your confidants. It's a confidant.
Compadres.
Yeah, compadres, same thing. Anyway, okay, yeah, or I will kick you. All right, go.